Shadowed Secrets of Versailles, Marie Antoinette's Restless Echoes. When Marie Antoinette, the last Queen of France, met her tragic end at the guillotine during the French Revolution in 1793, the opulent halls of the Palace of Versailles fell silent under the weight of history. But what if the echoes of her final days lingered far beyond her execution? What if the gilded rooms where she once danced and dreamed still whisper her name in the dead of night? Tonight, we delve into the documented ghostly encounters at Versailles, the grand chateau in France where Marie Antoinette lived, ruled, and ultimately fell. These accounts draw from palace staff, historians, visitors, and records spanning centuries of supernatural activity in one of Europe's most haunted royal residences. Prepare to journey through the shadowy corridors and serene gardens where her spirit is said to roam. A tale woven from whispers of the past. Versailles. A legacy of splendor and shadows, the Palace of Versailles, a testament to royal extravagance, began as a modest hunting lodge in the 1620s under Louis XIII. It was Louis XIII, the Sun King, who transformed it into a sprawling palace in the mid-17th century, a symbol of absolute power with its hall of mirrors and sprawling gardens. By the time Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette ascended the throne in 1774, the palace had become a gilded cage, its opulence masking political unrest. Marie Antoinette, born an Austrian archduchess, arrived at Versailles at age 14, her marriage a diplomatic alliance. She reshaped the Petit Trianon into her private retreat, a place of rustic charm with a mock hamlet where she tended sheep and hosted intimate gatherings. As the revolution brewed, these halls witnessed her transformation from a carefree queen to a prisoner awaiting her fate. Executed in 1793, her body was initially buried in an unmarked grave, later moved to the Basilica of Saint-Denis. Yet, local lore insists her spirit clings to Versailles, drawn by memories of joy and the terror of her final days, a presence felt in every creaking floorboard and rustling curtain. Early hauntings at Versailles. The ghostly tales of Versailles predate Marie Antoinette but grew more vivid after her death. For centuries, staff and nobility reported apparitions drifting through the Hall of Mirrors and opulent salons. One early spirit, a shadowy woman in tattered revolutionary garb, is often seen near the Queen's apartments, her form a silent testament to the violence that ended the monarchy. In the 1820s, during the Bourbon Restoration, a palace custodian named Pierre Dubois documented his encounter in private journals later archived in French historical societies. Late one evening, while locking the grand galleries, Dubois heard the faint click of heels on marble floors. Turning, he saw a woman in a white chemise gown, her powdered wig disheveled, clutching a flickering candle. She appeared to flee, her face etched with terror as if reliving her arrest. As Dubois approached, she dissolved into mist, leaving a chill that lingered for hours. Historians link this to Marie Antoinette's final nights, when she paced those same rooms awaiting the mob. Security footage from 2015, leaked to paranormal forums, shows doors creaking open in empty corridors with temperature drops registered by sensors. Staff attribute this to La Reine Fantôme, who seems restless during anniversaries of her trial or execution. A 2020 incident involved a guide, Luc Martin, who heard a child's cry near the hamlet, followed by Antoinette's voice soothing it, though no children were present. The event left him shaken, yet oddly comforted. A recurring theme in modern accounts. The Hall of Mirrors, site of royal triumphs, hosts poltergeist-like activity, mirrors fogging with handprints, chandeliers swaying without wind. A 1997 cleaner, Sophie Laurent, described finding powdered wig residue on floors after hours despite daily sweeps. She believed it was Antoinette preparing for a ball that never ends. In 2019, a visitor group reported seeing reflections of dancers in the mirrors, their forms dissolving as lights brightened, adding to the hall's spectral reputation, Ongoing supernatural echoes Versailles' library and private apartments brim with anomalies. Books on the Revolution fall open to pages about Antoinette's trial, and whispers of French pleas for mercy echo faintly. During restorations in the 2010s, workers unearthed a hidden locket with her initials, triggering a surge in sightings. Guides now warn of the Queen's gaze, a feeling of being watched from portraits that seem to shift. In 2022, a librarian, Marie-Claire Roux, found a book on royal etiquette open to a page about court etiquette, marked with a faint lipstick stain, an eerie echo of Antoinette's vanity. Visitors often leave shaken, reporting dreams of guillotines or visions of a woman fleeing through hedges. The estate's chapel, where Antoinette prayed, resounds with phantom sobs on stormy nights, as if her final absolutions linger. A 2023 visitor, Paul Durand, heard a soft hymn in Latin during a rainstorm, the sound fading as he entered, leaving a sense of peace. The gardens host nightly apparitions, a woman in a hoop skirt vanishing near the Grand Canal, her laughter carried on the wind. The restless echoes of Marie Antoinette at Versailles blend tragedy, opulence, and the supernatural, blurring the line between historical memory and otherworldly presence. Whether genuine spirits or the palace's absorbed grief, these encounters remind us of lives cut short by revolution. In the gilded shadows of Versailles, where queens once reigned, Marie Antoinette's whispers endure, a timeless plea from the past. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want more, please subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up. It only takes a second to do and is free, but greatly helps the channel. Good night. The gardens and Petit Trianon are hotspots for eerie activity. Staff have long reported the sound of phantom laughter and music from Antoinette's masked balls, echoing on moonless nights when the estate is empty. Marie Lefebvre, a groundskeeper in the early 1900s, recounted in a 1925 letter to a local historian her experience near the Queen's Hamlet. While pruning rose bushes at dusk, she felt a gentle hand on her shoulder and turned to see a figure in a simple farm dress, surrounded by an unnatural fog. The woman smiled faintly before vanishing, and Lefebvre smelled fresh lavender, Antoinette's favorite scent, though no flowers bloomed in winter. Another gardener, Henri Duval, reported in 1950 seeing the same figure watering phantom flowers, her silhouette fading as dawn broke, adding to the garden's spectral lore. Marie Antoinette's apparitions, sightings of Marie Antoinette herself, began surfacing in the 19th century, often in her signature elaborate gowns or simpler pastoral attire. These encounters feel personal, as if her spirit seeks to reclaim moments stolen by history. In 1901, American occultist Grace Cook, visiting during a private tour, experienced what became one of the most famous Versailles hauntings. Wandering the Petit Trianon alone, she heard women's voices and children's laughter from an empty pavilion. Pushing through overgrown paths, she stumbled upon two figures in outdated clothing, one resembling Marie Antoinette in a muslin dress, playing with ghostly attendants. The Queen turned, her eyes locking with Cook's in silent recognition before the scene faded. Cook's detailed account, published in spiritualist journals, drew global attention and inspired ongoing investigations. A decade later, in 1911, British tourist Eleanor Hayes reported a similar vision near the Temple of Love, describing Antoinette in a feathered hat, her expression melancholic as she gazed at the horizon, vanishing with a sigh. Palace guards and cleaners report similar phenomena. Jacques Moreau, a night watchman from 1965 to 1985, shared in a 1990 interview with French paranormal researchers his repeated sightings in the Queen's bedroom. During rounds, he'd hear the rustle of silk and see a translucent woman at the vanity, brushing her hair with an antique comb. Once, Moreau approached and asked if she needed help. The figure sighed deeply, her reflection showing a severed neck, a nod to her guillotine fate, before evaporating. Moreau noted the room grew warmer afterward, as if her presence brought fleeting comfort. In 1978, a maid, Claire Dupont, described finding a single pearl earring on the floor near the same vanity, despite no one entering the room, suggesting Antoinette's spirit leaves traces of her past. Modern encounters and Petit Trianon mysteries. The hauntings persist into the 21st century, with visitors and staff describing sensory overload at Petit Trianon. The air thickens with the scent of decaying flowers or fresh-baked bread from Antoinette's mock village. In 2008, a group of historians touring the estate reported their cameras malfunctioning near the temple, capturing orbs and shadowy outlines. One researcher, Dr. Elena Voss, felt a tug on her sleeve and heard a whisper, "They are coming," echoing Antoinette's dread of the mob. In 2014, a Japanese tourist, Yuki Tanaka, photographed a misty figure near the grotto, later enhanced to reveal a woman in a powdered wig, her face blurred but regal.